We'll give people a minute or two to get on. What's everybody been up to this week? All right, I think we'll get started here pretty quick. Are you up and running yet, Darren? Huh?
Yes.
Okay, hang on. Okay. Let me just set this down. All right, there we go. We're getting started now. All right. Well, welcome. I am really excited to play with you tonight. My name is Shannon Smith. I'm the Inspiration Team Director for Brutus Monroe, and I do lives for Brutus Monroe every Friday night. And I am excited that you are here with me tonight. And once you're here, go ahead and say hello so we can say hello back. I want to thank Darren for moderating for me tonight. As always, Darren does an awesome job. And Darren will actually add a link. Hi, Beverly. That will give you a link to everything that I use tonight. Hello, Robin. Okay, so a couple of things that I want to say before I get started, because I know me and I know I will forget. So Darren helped me remember 3 things. Okay, so if I don't say 3, then you know I'm missing something. So first of all, there is an event coming up that is really exciting. Christopher Allen is going to be hosting an event that is, you'll get him all to yourselves. And that is coming up in March. So go ahead and check out the details on the Brutus Monroe site. And there is still just a couple of spaces left, so you definitely want to take advantage of that. Second of all, there are 2 different promotions going on. One of them is with the purchase of Olo markers, the alcohol markers that Brutus Monroe started carrying. You get, I think it's a set of markers. I think it's like the primary colors. Darren, you might want to double check that for me. And then the third thing is that right now, this weekend, there is a special for the embossing powders. And if you've ever used Brutus Monroe embossing powders, you know that you want to take advantage of that sale. They are by far the best. And with a $25 purchase, I know it's still going on today. I don't know how long it's going, but there is a promotion for, you get the Blending Buddy,
Shannon,
which works with the stick and stamp mat for free with your purchase. What, Darren?
you get to purchase markers, you get a free pack of alcohol marker paper.
Alcohol marker paper. Well, I thought markers sounded wrong. I was like, wow, that's a big promotion. No, alcohol paper, which is still amazing because I'm going to be using some of that today. And I am telling you what, if you have ever used the Perfect Blend alcohol marker paper and you're a fan of doing like colored pencils and alcohol marker blending, pretty much any kind of blending, ink blending, that paper is hands down my favorite. Hi, Candy, how are you? All right, I am going to go ahead and switch my camera view so that you can see everything I'm doing. Kind of makes sense, right? Oops, need to switch it this way. Okay. Bear with me, my little clamp isn't letting me put my phone in. There we go. Okay. Just want to make sure I've got everything where we want it.
Pretty close.
Let's see if I can move it up a little bit. We are doing a lot of coloring tonight though, so close might not be a bad thing.
Just slide your white paper over.
I can't slide it over. I have to slide the camera over. Hang on. Okay, so first of all, last week I wanted to show you the inspiration kit.
Shannon,
Yeah,
take a look at the tab. It's pretty crooked.
I'm looking at it, Darren. Thanks. Okay, sorry, moving that mount away kind of messed me up. Okay, so this is the inspiration kit, And I want to just show you really quickly. I'm going to go through it really fast so that we can move on to what we're creating. But I did show you a little bit from it last week. So I'll just go through the rest of it. Okay, so first thing we're going to see is you receive this really awesome page of all of the beautiful, just some actually, of the beautiful projects from our inspiration team. And if you go to the Brutus Monroe site, you'll see more. If you go to our Instagram, it is loaded with projects from this. So if you need some inspiration, that is a good place to go. All right. You always get card bases, almost always anyway. And these are wonderful. I love our pre-scored, pre-cut card bases. You can tell they are just a nice heavyweight, and you can't have too many of those.
Penny said hi.
Hi, Penny. How are you?
Penny's glad it's Friday.
I'm glad it's Friday too, Jenny. I'm glad you're all here with me. I'm really excited to play. I have been wanting to get in my room all week, and I've just had a really busy week, so I'm excited to get to have some creative time. Let's do the card panels and the conversation clippings. So these, I've talked about these before. If you're new, you may not know. These are printed with toner, and so these are awesome to use it with foil with your laminator. So we've got the cute little foxes and the little bunnies. We've got the mushrooms. We've got these really pretty trees. And these would be so easy to just ink up with a little bit of, get your blender brush out and you're done. I mean, really, it wouldn't take much. And then you've got this really cool tree line. So all very cool. All very much could make quick, awesome cards. What, honey? Well, hello, Misfit Crafter. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're glad you're here.
Candy's using the stencil of the month tonight.
Oh, Candy, I am too. I am too. You're going to get to see. I think it's the stencil of the month. I get confused. Is the best china the stencil of the month, or is the teacup one the stencil of the month? I'm using best china. Okay, so this is the conversation clippings, and you've got all of these little sentiments that you can simply snip, and you have your sentiment ready to go for your cards or layouts or tags or whatever you may be working on. I love these. And again, these are foilable also. So you've got the negatives here and then the positives here. All right. So then you've also got, look how cute these are. These are our awesome acrylic bubbles. And you've got some kind of orangey colored ones and some kind of a blue that I really like. If you can see this blue, it's nice because it's not super cool or warm. So it's kind of almost a turquoise. It's kind of an aqua, but it could go either way when you're creating a card because they're clear. What, honey?
The teacup patterns and stencil of the month.
I thought that the slim line was. Okay, so I'm not using the stencil of the month tonight, but Candy is. So this is the stencil of the month. This is so much fun. I am excited to play with this. I haven't had the opportunity yet, but I'm going to, trust me. This has this cute little cup, and then you've got all of these cute patterns that you can use with it. But I kind of got ahead of myself. Let's finish what we're doing here. All right, so this is the paper pad that comes in this month's kit, and I have one that's open, so I'm just going to flip through that one, just because it's quicker. You've got all these different colors of this really cute heart pattern. They're all just really friendly patterns. And so then we will move on. Oh, that I want to show you last. So then you've got a fun collection of different papers. You've got a polka dot one. And I don't know if everybody got the same colors on these. I would imagine maybe not. But I'm sure that whatever you got is fun to work with because you've got these just really nice basic stripes. And who doesn't love a polka dot, right? And then you've got a selection of cardstock. You've got, it looks like 4 sheets. This pink is one of my favorite pinks. I use it all the time. Okay, and then we'll flip this over so you can see our beautiful glitter stock. This is the best glitter stock out there, and it does not flake off. Anything you see here was here before I did this. So yes, you want to check out our glitter stock. It is the best. And then you've got these cute little doilies that are perfect for just, oops, excuse me, for using for a base for something on your card or your tags or your layouts or whatever else you might be making. All right, you can tell I'm speeding through this because I want to get to our project. So excuse me if I'm talking a little too fast. I'll try to calm down a little bit. So this is our stamp set. This is Tea Party, and these are the coordinating dies. There are 42 stamps in this set and 30 dies. And this is so much fun. If you happened to be with me last week, I showed different ways that you can put these together. This week, I am going to show you something else you can do with these that may be a little bit more unexpected. So we'll set that aside. And then I already showed you. Well, hi, Christopher. How are you?
Got 50 inspiration boxes.
Oh, wow. There's only 15 inspiration boxes left. So you jump on that. You want to get in on that. I'm just putting this black behind this so you can see this better. I already kind of went over this stencil, but you can see all the patterns a little bit better now that I've got that black behind there. All right. Okay, so now this is the stamp of the month. This is called That's What Friends Are For. And let me tell you, I have seen some amazing cards using only this stamp from the inspiration team. So definitely check those out. And the other fun thing is you can use it with all kinds of things. Look how cute. The scale is just right to kind of tuck it in with your gnomes, I think. So if you are a member of the Stamp Club Plus, there's also a coordinating die that matches that. All right. So now I am going to show you one more thing, and then we're going to jump into our card. And that is the die of the month. This is called Tea for Two. What, honey?
Danny said her paper matches yours.
Her paper matches mine? Oh, cool. Okay.
For the kit.
Nice. So this is what all of the pieces look like that come in this set, and this is what they look like assembled. And these are so much fun. I cannot wait to play with these. This is what is on my plan for next week. So tune in if you want to see these used. And so now, last thing I'll show you is I'll show you, well, I guess I could show you that too. This is the Best China stencil, which we will be using tonight. Now you can see it a little bit better. Super versatile, cute, cute. I love this. And we're also going to use this set, which is called Mushroom Garden. This is one of the add-ons this month. There is actually a coordinating die. And look at all of these cute mushrooms. Again, you could use them with the stamp of the month as well. And I'll just start playing, okay? So we're going to use our Tea Party stamps. Oh, I wanted to point out that the Scarecrow Buddies stamp set, if you look at them, both of these together, they're scaled very similarly. So if you wanted to have not necessarily a scarecrow, if you wanted to use the little clothing, you could make a little girl teddy bear, you could make a little pig. So I wanted to point that out, that if you wanted to have even more options, the Scarecrow Buddies is sized just perfect for that. Okay, so now we can get started. So I typically try not to do a whole lot of coloring on my lives, but I am going to do a little bit tonight because I think every now and then it's kind of nice to review, just in case there's anybody who hasn't used alcohol markers. I'm going to be using some tri-blends tonight. But very first, let's use our stencil because that needs to dry. I do have one that's dry as a backup, so we'll just get started with that. So I'm going to use this fun bright pink and some pink chroma glaze. And this paper is cut to, it's the measurement just between 5.5 and 5 3/4, which I couldn't tell you right this minute what that is actually called. So I apologize for that. And I have to show you one more thing. If you watch me very regularly, look what I found today. I did a live a few weeks ago and I went crazy trying to find this little bow and finally gave up. But today, of course, I found it. What was that?
5 and 5/8.
5 5/8 is the measurement. Thank you, Darren. Okay, so let's get a little bit of pixie spray. This is awesome. If you have something intricate like this will make it stick to your paper just a little bit. And you don't need a whole lot. I mostly am kind of concentrating on the inside of it. And I'm just kind of going like this a little bit to just kind of let it set for a second, I guess. And now we will just do our best to center that on our paper. How is everyone tonight? What's everyone up to? Are you all doing the Super Bowl parties this weekend? I know Candy probably is. So the reason why I did this with the pink is because sometimes you need something, you need some texture in your background, but you want to keep the main focus on whatever your images are. And so that's why I'm using pink on pink. I'm going to make kind of a tone on tone, and I hope you like it. I like the way that it turns out. So we'll just get that started. I'm just using some of this Ranger spatulas, and then I've got this other tool that I don't think we have in stock right now, but these are really cool. ThermoWeb makes these, and I cannot remember what they're called, but I love to use it because it just spreads everything out so easily. And you don't need a huge, I have way more product on this than I probably need. And so I'm just going to scrape it as I go. I'm kind of pushing it in and scraping.
No party.
No party?
They'll have snacks.
You'll have snacks, but no party? The snacks are the party, aren't they? All right. So this one, because it is kind of a bigger image, and all those little pattern pieces, I used about the right amount. So Stencil Pal, that's what it's called. It's an amazing tool. So now I'm going to just wipe that off really quick.
Anne-Marie said hi, and she's glad she saw you tonight.
Hi, Anne-Marie. I'm glad you caught me too. I'm glad to have you here with me. We were just talking about the Super Bowl and if people are having Super Bowl parties this weekend. We are not the most athletic people. I know that's shocking when you see me, but we are not super athletic around here, but I can certainly appreciate any reason for a party. Okay, so now we've got this beautiful pattern, and I will just set that aside so I don't set stuff on top of it. And I will show you what that looks like dry because, ta-da, I have one already dry. See how it's just enough darker that it gives you a pattern, but it's not like screaming out to be it's not going to be our main focus of our card, but you will see it and appreciate it. Okay, so let me just wipe this off super quick and we'll move on to the next step. I'll do a more thorough job after, but I just want to get that initial layer off of there. Okay, now we can move on to the next step. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna dry this for a second, just because we're going to be doing some coloring. And I don't want to use wet paper. All right, that's probably good enough. Okay, so now we're just going to color these little images. And I do have one that I already took because I messed up on the first one. I didn't like the colors for what everything else is going to look like. So I did already color some mushrooms. But we're going to color the rest of these really quick. So I am using, first off, this is called Bright Pink Blend. And these are the tri-blend markers. And what's fun about these is you've got 3 different colors. You've got your light color, your medium color, and your dark color. So you've got all three of them within one marker, which is really nice. If you're a little intimidated by alcohol markers, this is a great place to start. So we'll start out, I'm just going to color the little shirt. And I used Raven ink to stamp these with because Raven ink is a great permanent ink. Anne-Marie, that's awesome. I used to really love basketball. I followed the Utah Jazz for a long time, but I haven't in recent years.
BK and I love hockey.
What, Darren?
I like hockey.
Darren does like hockey, but I don't really see him watch it much anymore. But he is Canadian, so even if he didn't love it, he would probably have to say that he did. I think there's some sort of law about that. Right, Darren?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to color the collar of the blouse too. And I'm using, I don't know if I said it, but I'm using the lightest color on my marker. And I'm really careful when I get around the black. Sometimes I don't even go all the way to the end. And when I get to the very line, sometimes I'll even tap just so that I don't smear the black. So I might get really like as close as I can without actually touching it. And then, especially when I'm using really light colors, like this is a pretty light color. Yellow, I definitely do it with yellow. Okay, so for now we've got that. So now, whoops, we're not done with the marker though. So now I'm going to take the darkest color and kind of going over where.
Anne-Marie said she loves college football and basketball the best.
Oh, Anne-Marie, college and football and basketball?
Yeah.
That is awesome. I have been to a few BYU football games in my time. And there used to be a team, I don't even think they have the team anymore. I grew up in Utah, obviously, but we had the Utah Buzz. That was the baseball team. I went to a few of those games too. All right. So I have to tell you a funny story, and I apologize if I've told it before. But when I was in high school, our church actually had a softball team, and I was not eager to participate. And the lady who was in charge of that worked at my school. So she would get me out of class and take me in the hall and beg me to play. Like she knew she had me cornered, and I would always give in because I always felt guilty. So I always ended up playing, which was probably not a bad thing for me. But I'm telling you what, she knew what she was doing because otherwise I never would have played. Talk about using your position at school to to your advantage, right? I do have fond memories of playing though. I always was more of a fan of things like Foursquare. I loved Foursquare. Did you guys play Foursquare when you were little? Okay, so we've got our pink. So now let's do yellow. So this yellow is called Citrus Blend, and we'll go to that lightest color. And I will try my best to color as quickly as I can. I have to remember to do my live coloring as opposed to my Shannon coloring at home coloring. Because I color very slow typically.
Hi.
Hi Donna, how are you? Okay, so see how I'm just kind of tapping That way I don't smear that black. So I get as close as I can without actually touching it. And if I do feel like I've touched it, I just go like that. Get it off of the tip of the marker. And if you get it on there, you know, it's not the end of the world. You can work it into looking like a shadow a lot of times, but you know, if you can avoid it. Definitely when you're going to do it, I stamped this a little while ago, so it had quite a bit of time to dry. So go ahead and use your heat tool or whatever you need to do to kind of set that ink in there. Give it a little time to dry before you jump right into coloring with alcohol markers. Okay, so we've got the base of our yellow on there, and I'm going to come back to the yellow in just a minute. All right, so now let's go to blue. Oh, actually, I do want to do one more thing of yellow. I want to do the cuff on the pants. Okay. So now I'm going to take my turquoise. What is this called? Blue turquoise blend. And I will go with my lightest color again. This one I could be a little quicker with because I'm not as concerned about it bleeding or smearing. And I'm actually going to color these as well. And I haven't even told you what I'm going to do with these yet. But what I am going to do is I'm going to create a little clothesline. And these, I think these could pass for booties, I think. So these are going to be little baby booties. And obviously this is going to be probably a more feminine card. All right, so now I'm going to just take my blue, and hopefully this works because I'm live. I'm a little nervous to do anything so freehand, but we're just going to go with it. And we'll do some lines this way. And let's make the buttons blue. Okay, so now I will do the darker blue. I'm just going down by the cuffs, maybe a little bit on the inside of the leg, a little bit on this side of the foot of the booty. And now I'll take that middle color and I'm going over what I did and up a little bit. So I can move the color, because that's what alcohol ink does, is you just move it with the markers and kind of redistribute. All right, now I'm going to take that lightest color again, kind of take that up. Then you don't have any harsh lines and it blends in nicely. But you still have that darker shade. Oops. I think we might want to do just a little bit along the foot. Going to that mid-tone again. And now lastly, with that light color, one more time. Okay, so now let's go back to our pink. And I'm going to take, I think I'll take, I'm just trying to decide what color of pink I want to use. Do I want to use the lightest or the darkest? Maybe we'll do the mid. Let's do the mid. So now I'm just going to go in between, hopefully, the lines. And it's okay that it kind of blended together at the top. That's kind of where the pleats would be anyway, where it kind of would gather. So that is a little more forgiving. And then I have actually, I have a little bit different yellow because I wanted a little bit more, what's the word? Contrast. And so this is the darkest yellow. We'll do a little bit of that. I might do a little bit of that up here too, even though we've got the pink up there. I don't think that matters. Oh, we forgot the cuffs. Are there any questions so far, Darren?
So far.
Huh?
Have to wait and see what you're gonna do.
Okay. So now we'll take, let's see, where's, I think I'm going to use the darkest here. Usually I use the darkest before I use the lighter color, and I forgot to do that. So I don't think it's going to really matter too much, but we'll just add it on here. And now we'll use that middle yellow. And then for the lighter yellow, I don't think we need to go all the way up. We're just kind of blending it out into the other yellow a little bit. I don't want to go over all the lines. And then we'll just kind of blend that darker yellow in. Okay, I think we're good on that. So now we just have some plants that we want to color. And don't worry, I have all of these cut out already. So I'm just showing you basically what I did. In fact, you know what? I think we'll move on. I think the plants, I used the two different greens. I used the I used the light green blend and the alpine green blend. And I'll show you what the pieces all look like. So this is the one I used the alpine on. And this is the one I used the light green on. Okay? We'll put all those together. Oh, it looks like I did yellow buttons on that one. Doesn't really matter. And then I used the dies to cut these out. I freehanded these ones because I don't have those dies, but I think that it's just fine. Okay, so now we've got all of our pieces for those. And I've got these little clothespins that we'll use. And the next thing I did is I stamped, let me grab the stamp set. This is called Occasional Greetings. And if you need just a bunch of sentiments for all different occasions, this is the stamp set for you. You've got Thanksgiving and fall, you've got Easter, you've got Valentine's, you've got Thanksgiving. I said that one, but there's another one. You've got St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July, happy anniversary, Merry Christmas. We're going to use congrats. There's a thinking of you, best dad ever, thank you. Another congratulations, this is for your wedding. Happy Halloween, graduation, Mother's Day, Christmas, Happy New Year, sympathy cards, happy birthday, and another graduation one. So obviously there's a ton. So this, like I said, this is great. It has 24 different pieces. So I went ahead and I stamped and embossed the congrats on that. That is embossed with alabaster embossing ink. I used alabaster pigment ink and then I used alabaster embossing powder. So now, let's create our card. So we're going to do this on a 6x6. And I cut this piece of paper to 5 3/4 exactly. And, well, probably not exactly, but you know what I'm saying. Hi, Mary.
What is she making?
I am making a baby card today.
And then Jenny said she needs that.
Yes, Jenny, that's a good set. That's a great set, actually. Let me find my punch. I usually have it up here, but there it is. I thought I did. So I'm going to try something, so bear with me because I haven't tried it before, so let's hope it works. I'm going to try, well, you'll see. So I'm going to take a little bit of twine. This, I believe, is doodlebug twine. And then I will show you, if you don't know this trick, you will be so happy. And if you do know this trick, you'll go, oh yes, thank goodness for that trick, because I'm sure you have used it. So these would help if I show you what I'm using. These are dental flossers, like for braces. And you just get them in the drugstore, grocery store, in the like hygiene section. And you can just use them when you have something like this to get your thread through these little tiny holes. So let's see, how did I want to do this? I had it in my head, but I have to think it through. I can do a lot of things, but I'm not I'm not super, Darren is the engineer in our family, right, Darren?
Sure.
Let's see if I can do this. In my head, it worked, but now I forgot what I had in my head. I hope I'm not the only one that does that. All right, so now, let's get that other end. You know, I don't know if that was necessary.
Jenny said she's going to get in trouble with George Living Mouse this month.
Penny, I hear you. I hear you. There are so many fun things. I don't know why I did that. I don't know what I was thinking, but let's do this now. Now that I've started, I've already got the hole there. So now it's more of a rescue mission. So I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I can't remember what I had in my brain. It'll come to me as soon as the live is over. I can almost guarantee that. So I think what we'll do is we'll just pull that, and I'll just wrap this way underneath. And then, no, that should work. Okay. Yay. Hopefully it looks good because I didn't test it out first. So I just want, I don't think the other hole was necessary. I don't know what I was doing. You can laugh at me. It's okay. It won't hurt my feelings. Not really sure what I accomplished any more than if I had just tied it around. So, like I said,
You won't lose that, though.
it's okay if you laugh because I'm kind of laughing at myself.
Shannon.
Right? It definitely, you're not going to lose your string. It will stay in place. All right. So I wanted it to look more like a, in fact, I kind of don't like where I put it, but we're going to have to go with it. This is totally alive. This is totally alive. Actually, hang on. I might completely and utterly change my mind. I think, hang on. Let me see if this would work. If I do that, how would it look if I have that also? Is that too much? Sorry, I promise I'll let you in on what I'm trying to figure out in just 1 second. If I did that, it might be too much.
Donna, Brother says hi.
Hi Donna, how are you? All right, this might work. We might have to rethink the string though. So I think I'm going to just turn it because I need my clothesline that I'm making to be up a little bit higher. Then that's going to leave me space for because I put it in the wrong spot. That's what I get for thinking of something at the very last minute. I was like, oh, that would be good. Next time I don't know that I'll be so bold. All right. So if you're still with me, which I hope you are, let's see what we think of this. I'm not liking it. But that's okay, because I have other things I can do with that. We're just going to skip that altogether. I'm just not loving it. And it's just paper, right? So instead, I think I was thinking I would tie it in and not around. But I didn't really put it in the best place because it needs to be up higher. So we're just going to play it safe. I think I'll just put this around. I just need my adhesive. I want my other adhesive. Okay. I want it fairly high. Can't get a hold of the end of that string. Okay, so we need it high enough. We may have to move it already. Let's look and see where that's going to place everything. So we're going to put this little guy in the middle. We'll put this one here. And we'll put these guys here. And I think I'm going to tie strings on the ends. So that should work. This will go down here. These will go on these. All right, let's just get that going. So we'll put I need to trim this just a little bit. Let me put this on and then I'll just cut off the edge of that. And I think we'll put this about right here. I'm just gonna.
2 and 3 Donnas. Short of Donna hard.
Hello, hello. We love our Donnas. For sure. Okay. So now let's get this together.
Donna C says she needs a baby girl cartoon, so I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Oh, good. I hope it turns out good. We had a little rough start, but I think we're gonna be okay. So I'm gonna do the little trick I was kind of telling you about last week, which is foam is so sticky that when you don't get it in just the right spot, it can be a little tricky to get your project together. So one thing you can do, I need a couple in the middle. We don't want it to sink, right? What you can do is you can, so I will have to take these ones off. But actually, no, I could just leave it a little bit on. Because really it's just there to kind of be a brace. But these ones down around the edges, do the same thing and kind of make it so you can touch them at the edge. So the sticky side will be the inside part. I don't know if you can see. Hopefully you can. Because we'll put it on and then we'll take them off. Once we know we have it exactly where we want it. But it will have enough stick that you can place it. All right, we're almost there. Whoops, wrong way, huh? Yeah, I saw that. Thanks. All right. So, let's get this, especially where this has a little bit skinnier of a border around it. I usually have a 1/4 inch. But this one's an 1/8, I think. Does it look centered? I think it's pretty centered. So now we can just go through and we can just peel those off without having to move everything off of the card again. But you can see if I needed to, I could take it off, right? So this is a trick that will save your life if you remember to do it. Okay. So now we can start placing all of the fun things. All right, so where did we end up covering that up? See, that was perfect. We were able to cover up our little holes. So first off, let's get these guys on, and they definitely need a foam. So I'm going to put the foam on before I even worry about the little clothespins. And you'll want to leave enough room to put your clothespin behind it. Obviously, these are not the most friendly for mailing your cards, but these are great if you're just going to give it to somebody that you can hand it to. Or you could make little paper paper clothespins, or I actually was looking at it, and I mean I think you could get by with this one of the small skinny noses. Let me show you which one I'm talking about. I mean, the clothespin is really not a super big detail, so if you wanted, you could even use like this little nose, and it would work for a clothespin. And really, it'd be closer to scale, but I wanted to just use these little guys, so do these. I think that'll work.
Baby clothes, they get pretty heavy.
That's right.
And you big clothespin.
Yeah, you need it for those teeny tiny little clothes, right? Guess it depends on how big your baby is. My first baby was definitely solid. I knew every time I picked him up, there was no question I had a baby in my hands. And then my second baby was the opposite, and I would look to see if I'd left something behind because he was just so light after having my other one.
Jenny said your mic is so good it sounds like straight ASMR.
Oh, well, I'm glad. It's just my little phone. Glad the mic is working right. All right, so now we will stick. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use that. I'm going to put this down flat, I think. And then we'll put foam on all of the little pieces that go around it. If you catch foam quick, you can still peel it off, but I'm telling you, it's a really short, small window. So I think we'll put that about right there. And then I'm just going to cut this now that I've got it off. I had all of the back ears off, so we're kind of committed now. So we'll put this little guy up here. Let's put some grass. Maybe down there. And now we can use the smaller foam.
Donna said she loves the laundry line.
Oh, thanks, Donna. I just think it's fun to have more than one way to use a stamp set. So I thought, well, this is definitely something different. And I need a baby card too. So that way you can kill two birds with one stone, right? Okay, so we'll just kind of stick this one on that side. All right, so we've got the basics, but I think, and I still think we're going to finish on time, so that's good. I know Darren's probably wondering. But I think I'm just going to add one last detail before we add it to our card base. Well, two last ones. Okay, so let's see about putting a little bow on this side.
And he said this is so cute.
Oh, thanks, Anne-Marie. Thanks for being patient with me while I figure it out. Okay, so we'll just tie that on there. I cannot get a hold of these little, and they twist on me. I love twine. That's the only thing I don't love about it, is that it twists. So I just will make my bows a little smaller, and maybe that will help. Give it less opportunity, right? Let me just get it twisted back the other way and pull. Yeah, that seems to have helped a little bit. It's gonna do what it does. I'm gonna call that good on that side. And then we will do one on the other side. Though I don't think you have to. I think you could do it just one side. You know what? I like it with one side because we've got all this going on here. It kind of balances the card better. So let's just stick with the one. And then the last but not least detail is that I think we'll just put a couple of these little epoxy dots on here. I think I want a couple up here.
Anne Marie's first baby was 8 pounds. The second was 7 pounds. They're 11 years apart. Now her baby is 25 is having the first grandbaby. It's a boy.
Oh, Anne Marie, that's kind of where I'm at. I've got my kids are 10 years apart. So my oldest is 24 and my youngest is, well, my only other one is 14. But yes, I am definitely looking forward to being a grandma one day. Hopefully not in a huge distance, right? Little time is okay, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. All right, so we just need to add this little guy to our card base, which I think I'll just do with glue because it's fast. And because I can move it around a little bit if I get it on there wrong, which is entirely possible. Okay, oops. All right, so we have our finished card. Our gnome card turned baby card. Just super fun. I love this set. I think it's a lot of fun. Let me go ahead and flip my camera view. I'll show you one more time close up so you can see the chroma glaze really well. And you can see it's not the focal point, but it definitely sets off everything in the front. Okay, let me flip my camera. Sorry about that nice view of the ceiling. Okay. Well, I hope that you had fun and that you got some ideas and that maybe you're inspired to create something yourself this weekend. And I will see you again Friday next week when I'll use the dies. Oh, that's okay. I understand, Candy. I totally understand that. Totally understand. Oh, thanks, Donna. I will be back next week with the die of the month and we will play again. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend and may your team win. Bye-bye.